Okay, so we are live. Okay. So welcome all of you on this amazing, this wonderful platform of Ahmedabad Book Club, which is by Karma Foundation. And our supporting partners are right with us and pretty much everything. And today we have on this platform a wonderful guest, one of my good friends, one of the Toastmasters, who is an IT manager and he works with Tata Consultancy Services and is having a 14 years of industry experience. So here I'm not to talk about all these things, your TCS experience or whatever, Haritosh. You are here for some other reason, and that is first of all, let me tell you guys that he is a published author who has published recently a beautiful book called as Small Town Bigger Dreams, and this is a wonderful book that you all should read. That how a person, a man, you know, you from a small town can reach the heights, can can have a journey from a small town Jaunpur to UK, and this is what we are going to talk about here. So Haritosh, I welcome you on this stage.
Thank you so much, Sweta. Thank you for that lovely introduction, and thank you for the team, Ahmedabad Book Club and the Karma Foundation. I'm really honored, and it's my pleasure to be part of the show today.
Thank you, Haritosh. And guys, you must know that he wears a lot of hats, not one, two, three, or five, a number of. It's innumerable. And you will keep on knowing about it as the session goes on. I mean, I'm not going to speak anything right now. I'm going to asking many questions about the kind of hats he wear and how he manages with everything. So first of all, Haritosh, I will ask you that how was your journey? Means, can you tell something about your journey from Jaunpur to UK, from so how you achieve those dreams, how those achieves, and how you feel achieving those dreams?
Thank you much, Sweta. Thank you so much,
Not
Sweta.
many
That's a
questions.
wonderful question. And I think summarizing the journey of 35, 36 years plus in few minutes will not be possible. But I can tell you, I'll start with what my book starts about. And that's about, that was about year 1994, 95. And there were two kids on the roof of a small town. I belong to a small town called Jaunpur. And there is a airport nearby, about 35 kilometers, the Varanasi airport, and there were used to be lot of aeroplanes flying in the sky. And when the aeroplane flies, what is leaves is there is white smoke behind. And
Yes.
one day I was looking at it, and my sister said, "No, do you know what is that?" I said, "Yes, this is white smoke, and that comes out when the aeroplane flies." And you know what? One day I'll be traveling in that aeroplane. Both of us were silent for 30 seconds, and then we burst into laughter because of course we were joking. We didn't know this is going to happen. But no, after 20-25 years now, I've covered like more than 50,000 miles. This is my third international deputation, and that Hindi medium, small town Jaunpur guy. Now I'm an IT project manager in India's top IT company, or I will say words one of the best IT companies, and have done so much in life. So that has been an incredible journey, incredible lesson. And this is what the book is all about. Now, when the COVID hit last year, we had ample time. I thought about, I still feel like I'm still that small town guy, and then how did all that happen? So there have been so many lessons, so many setbacks, so many mistakes, so many learnings, and this is the book is all compilation, and I categorize that into 21 different lessons, which even though it seems like my lesson, but I find out this is applicable to most of us. And I've been getting so many different reviews about it, but all of these are very useful lessons for anyone who wants to grow and learn and experiment in life.
Yes, very sure. Thank you, Haritosh, for this beautiful answer. But I have one more question, that why only this book, Small Town Bigger Dreams? Is it like something in your mindset or something which is very close to your heart? Why not something other, maybe some fiction or anything else? Why life lessons?
Great question, Sweta. First of all, I'm an engineer, so I've read a number of fictions when I was studying during engineering times, but fiction is not something I'm really good into it, reading also. So, and I'm big fan of non-fiction, and especially the learnings that happens from people like Robin Sharma, people like Tony Robbins, people like those, where you learn a lot from their lessons and principles. So, and the idea of this book came when I was one day talking to one of my mentees, and I was talking about my varied experience, that I started from a small town. I studied in Hindi medium, then I switched to a Muslim college. Then I was in Bangalore, where not neither Hindi was there, and we can't speak. And then I came back, and then I was outside India, where no other language except English was there. And those varied experiences, he said, no, that thing, that would be amazing if you can pen it down, all those experiences and learnings, because you have had a different everybody has different experience, but you had some varied experience, and if you can pen down those, that would be amazing. So the seed of the book was put in there. But we all have those something called imposter syndrome, like, no, I'm not good enough. Am I a writer? I mean, who do you think you are? How can you be writer? So I also had all those dreams, all those issues. So I thought, okay, let me try that. Somebody has said, so let's do something. I wrote probably one chapter of the book and sent it to a couple of my friends. One, her name is Priyanka Saxena in Taiwan, and I said, no, very timidly, I said, no, I've written something about this. Can you go through it and let me know if it makes sense or something? And then they encouraged me that this is absolutely fantastic. That was about how do you surround, and the kind of people that you surround with impacts how you grow in your life. And that helped me, that no, I think I have some message. And especially for people I see struggling, who come from a small town, B town, C town, there is a need for such a book, where a person who has gone through that journey can help them and guide them, and also probably mentor them in some other way. So that's how the whole idea of the book came about.
Beautiful. So you want to impart your personal experience with that, some lessons that you have
True.
learned in the journey of your life. So,
Absolutely.
how was your journey while writing? Means while you were writing your book, was it easy? Like, is it spontaneous, or you have to work a lot, or you have to think a lot? Means how means it went?
Yeah, great question, Shweta. So if I say that it was a very smooth journey, it's gonna be a white lie. It was not a journey. It took close to a year to complete the whole manuscript, everything. And since I'm not a writer or not from a literary background, I underwent a few coachings as well to go through. One of the things that helped me, I think, couple of things that helped me. One is about setting up a schedule. So my writing time used to be immediately after waking up, because I'm a morning person, and most of my creativity comes in the morning. So my time used to be about 7 o'clock. 7 to 8 used to be my writing schedule. So I had one desk setup, one black coffee or something, and then writing it on laptop. Other thing was, even though writing is not a very structural thing to say, a lot of people don't follow structure, but putting up those, what are the different lessons in terms of different chapters. So once I started putting those mind map and structures, and that could be personally me, but for me it really helped that I had like 25 to 26 different messages. And then I started researching on that, how, what is the best study that can help me on that, what were the other people's example, what were my examples, and remembering all those examples for so many years, putting it down. So once I had the structure, I think it was odd, then become about writing and putting that into a whole chapter. But I went through that structural, the engineering background comes into file, like we want to put that structure and then high level design, and then go into nitty gritty. That helped me, but it took a lot of time. I started about somewhere at the start of 2020, that no, I thought about, okay, now that we have time, I can do something like that. And the book published on 15th of June in Kindle. The print version is still in progress, so it took a lot of time, but I'm glad I
Patient,
did
but
it.
fine. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Good. Somewhere, Haritosh, I have means as I too write,
Yeah, I know.
people you must be knowing, yeah, that I have also written two books. And somewhere when I wrote my first book, I set up some goal like 200 to 300 words at least. I'll scribble every day for my manuscript, for whatever the draft I was
Right.
uh, doing at that time. But somewhere now if after writing two books, maybe I somewhere feel that it is somewhere not the way, it should not be the way. So do you also have this kind of goals, like right, scribbling the number of words, or is it really helpful, or my mindset change means what's your experience like in that, huh?
Great point. I think my experience was also similar to you. So, somebody somewhere told me that no, if you're writing a non-fiction book, it should have about 50,000 words, and then no, 50,000 words divide by, if you're trying to finish it by
Number of
30
yeah.
days, so divide by number of days. So it was coming about, you know, 200 to 400 words per day. And it started off, and since I that engineer and manager mindset, I started keeping a track of Excel, putting date, and this is my average count going on, and then know how much more words I need to put it by to complete. uh, that's good if you can follow, but I think over the days,
Yeah.
what happened was I was kind of feeling bogged down with that, so I
Yes.
completely went away with that. I think more than the mechanics, it's what is more important is the message or the story, if you're talking about fiction, or the message, and that should convey. uh, Having said that, I think consistency is something which is very important. So it's not about running behind the number of words or number of pages or whatever it is, but at least sitting on that day. And there have been days when I came to laptop and nothing was coming out of my mind, and it was a blank page. Maybe I wrote only 10 or 20 words only on that day, or just I note down that what do I need to research, things like that. But sitting also sometimes subconsciously make you that, right? So if my time is for 7 to 8 for writing, I be there, I sit there, even if I don't do anything productive that day. But sitting on that desk also then makes me more productive next coming days, and that keeps me, not getting into that writer's block, the famous term.
Yeah, now over a period of time I too got this. Yes, if I'll go for a goal of 200, 300 of per day kind of thing, that may work. It's not like I wouldn't say that
Yeah,
it is not working. And this is what you are truly said, that being consistent means whatever time at least you have set for yourself, sit for that particular time. It may happen words may come more than 200 or 300,
true.
500 or 1000 you
Absolutely
may scribble, or it may happen as he said that 10 or 20 words only, or you may come up with something that yes, this thing I still need to research, I still need to find. This helps so beautifully, Haritosh. I love this point. Consistency is important. Sitting on the time that you have allotted yourself for your writing work, that is important. And one or the other day we should this is beautiful, that I should not run for the number of words, or that particular date that I should finish my work. Is somewhere we are playing with our creativity, not in a good
true.
way, means yeah. So somewhere it doesn't work. This is beautiful, beautiful. So
Thank you.
Haritosh, with that, one more question for you, that can you share a few lessons, three beautiful lessons from your book, or I would say
Absolutely.
your life journey?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I'll share the first lesson that I think is very, very important. I touched a little bit about it, but I'll expand a bit. Jim Rohn says that no, you are the average of top five people you spend the
Yes.
most time with. And one of the lesson in my life was when I completed my intermediate. I, like many people, I wanted to prepare for IIT, and I was supposed to go to a coaching to Varanasi coaching institute. So my father put me up with one of his friend's son. We got a rented house. We started staying together, and I was above average student. I had a lot of potential, but that guy, not that guy was bad or something, but he was not into study, and that actually indirectly impacted me. By the end of the year, I was also not too much into studying and not very much interested. So even though he didn't ask me to not study, or no consciously ask me to stay away from book or something, but it's because of I was spending most of the time with him and he was doing other things, and I also got interested on those things. So I thought I could not get into a college of my potential, which I was no deserving, and purely because I didn't study, and it was all because of uh, my top five people were not growth potential or growth mindset people. So and then when I became aware about that in engineering, and afterwards I was very conscious of who my friends are, who my top five people are, and that has helped me to achieve whatever little I've achieved so far. So that is what I say in my book also, that no, it's very important to be mindful of your association. And if you're not able to get, at times it may happen that, you won't have association in forms of people, then you can always go back and associate with, good books, good podcasts, good YouTube videos and other. But make sure that you are conscious of where you are spending your most time with, rather than, wasting time on other things. So that's lesson number one. Lesson number two, again, very close to my heart. I say in my book also, this is the most closest, is being connected to your roots. I was born and brought up in Jaunpur, and I still feel like, no, I belong to Jaunpur in some way or other, even though I am, no, hundreds and thousands of miles away from that. And there was one incident in 2016 when I was in Noida. One of, again, somebody came to me, and no, he showed a resume. I knew he belonged to the same place where I am, but when I looked at the resume, he was actually forging it to say that he belongs to New Delhi, and that really got me annoyed. Like, why do you need to actually uh,
Oh,
uh, forge something and no, be shameful of your roots? You should be very very proud of where you are born,
right.
which community you are born, which culture you are born. And I'm very proud of. And as they say, no, if your roots are not strong, your no the tree will not grow, there will not be any branches, there will not be any trees. So just like that, we need to make sure that, no, we take care of our roots. And if we are privileged and if we had the capacity, please go back and, no, contribute to the betterment of root. I was fortunate. I went to the same school where I started my studying. I had chance to take few lessons to know about English communication and all. I couldn't do much, but no, I was so grateful that I got opportunity to go back and give something back to my school. That was a gratifying experience. So that's lesson number two, I can say. Then third lesson I would say is shamelessly seeking mentors. I think mentors are the beacon of life that, no, that help us. And at every stage of life, we all need mentors. Whether you are just studying, you are just starting your professional life, you are at the peak of your life, you spend decades of experience, we all need mentors. And if you see somebody who you think is deserving to be your mentor, please reach out to them. Don't feel that, no, ashamed that, no, how can I ask that person. In most of the cases, there will be people who will help you in whatever way they can. And if they're not able to help you, they'll probably, point you out to places where you can find the mentor. So getting becoming a mentoring becoming a mentee, and then once you are comfortable, also be a mentor to someone. So that's the pay forward thing that is
Yeah.
connected to part of it. So those are, I would say, that the three lessons that has really really helped me in life.
This is beautiful. I loved your all the 3 points, and especially the last one. It is beautiful. If you have become a mentee and you think now you can become mentor, you should go. It's like payback. And I too believe, why I have two hands. From one I am receiving, then from other
Yeah,
at least I am passing on the same thing what I have got, and that is the
exactly.
chain, and that should be. This is beautiful. This is a very beautiful lesson. So, Haritosh, who's your favorite author and whose books you prefer in your bookshelf or book library, whatever be?
Great question, Sweta. I read a lot. I mean, I try to read every day 20, 30 minutes, despite my whatever is the schedule. I have so many different authors, but if I have to choose one author, I think that's going to be Robin Sharma.
Robin
Uh,
Sharma.
I've read his book, The Monk Who Sold His Fanari. But the one book that really changed, like millions of people, is the 5 a.m. Club. I mean, I've become a big, huge fan of Robin Sharma after that book, and I've read some other books of him. But 5 a.m. Club is amazing, and I try to follow as much as I can of waking up at 5 a.m., trying to do things that have been told, working on the mindset, body set, and soul set. But no, the way he it's I won't say it's a pure non-fiction, it's not a fiction, it's I think it's a perfect amalgamation of both, where he calls it a
Mhm.
business fable. Where he takes a story, but the lessons that you learn out of those, no the whole story is something which is applicable to all of us. So, and I'm so great he's having another book coming up later this year, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
So that's,
In
I'm really
September.
looking forward to. So
Mhm.
Robin Sharma is one author that I'm like. Another book I got of him is the The Leader Who Had No Title. Again, another amazing book, and that's applicable to everyone, especially when you get into a management job, and all of us get into that ego, like I need to be the project manager, or the distinguished toastmaster, or the best selling author, whatever it is. But it's not about title, it's about how do you
About work.
contribute. It's about the servant leadership that we get. And again, amazing book. So I'm a big fan of Robin Sharma.
Yeah, same here, same here. I'm a big fan of Robin Sharma. I means just a few years back, I literally had a very great blow of life. And his book, Discover Your Destiny. I would say each and every book, if you
Each and
name
every
a
book.
few, I don't know how that book came into my hands. I was a kind of person who would read fictional books, maybe Durjoy Datta or Chetan Bhagat or J.K. Rowling, though she is also one of my favorite. But
Hmm.
as if it has fallen in my hand, as if someone has sent, and
Yeah.
that book really changed my mindset. And then Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Who Will Cry When You Die, each and every book is a superb. And when even I have started writing, I try my best that to amalgamate fiction with some lessons, so that people
Hmm.
it, suffice both the taste buds. Fiction bhi ho gaya, story bhi ho gayi, and then with that people are getting some beautiful lessons of life. So this is the way. And I may follow his, I am also following his writing style, because I really believe the way he depicts his things. Beautiful also.
True, true, true.
Yeah.
And Sweta, I mean, if I may interject, like, no, I've read Yoshimate Life. That's an amazing book. I mean, people who have not yet bought that book, please go and buy that. I mean, this is probably the fiction book I read in like 10 or 15 years, and I was not at all disappointed. It's a very interesting strategy book. I'm not gonna open the plot for anyone, but that's one book I read in like 15 years as a fiction. I started a few before, but I couldn't finish. But this one I finished end to end. So amazing lessons and amazing, and whatever you're saying, I totally agree. Great job in CMET Life. Thank you for liking that.
Thank you so much, Haritosh, for reading and even for liking it so much. Now, another question, Haritosh. What do you think? Are you going for another book? Do you have plans for further books? Or sometimes it happens people just publish one book and they stop their journey. So, what would be your journey in the times to come? What are your plans?
Yeah, I think this probably will be preliminary question for me. I think I'm currently working on getting the paperback version. I've signed a deal with a publishing house, so hopefully the paperback version should come sometime either later this month or probably next month. So current focus is getting that out in the market. I've also had a few recommendation from people to get it translated to other languages, like Hindi
Yes.
specifically, because my mother tongue is Hindi, and there were a lot of people who likes to read this book in Hindi. So that would be my next venture, as and when it starts. But after that, maybe another book. I'm not saying. I've heard somebody say never, so I'm not gonna say I will never write that. And maybe I love that whole process where set up the schedule and go and explore and research, and then present something which is of value to the readers. I think I'll probably go for another book, when I do not know, but I'll probably definitely go for another book.
Yes, yes, no problem. If you are really willing, I would say go ahead. We should not stop. I would also say we should not stop at one book or whatever. It's not like that we should keep writing 20. Yes, there should be a number of books where we can share experience, knowledge, lessons, and people really get. And if obviously your journey will keep moving and you will keep gaining experience and you can even impart this. This is beautiful. And now, Haritosh, you all must know he is a great YouTuber. He had his podcast, and I don't know what he keeps on doing, moving from one Toastmaster club to another. How you manage with all your, professional work? How you wear means isn't is it really possible for you to manage easily, or you to sometimes struggle?
Good question. I do struggle. First of all, the answer is I do struggle. It's not that nobody is perfect. First of all, there is no term I believe we call time management. I said earlier also in few interviews. It's more about priority management and attention management. I do because I love doing these things more than anything. I love participating in Toastmaster. I think I'm so indebted to Toastmaster for what it has done to me, and I like to give back to the community as much as I can. So that's more of a paying it back or paying it forward to the community. YouTube started as a hobby last year. When I was trying, I call myself explorer because I love to explore different things. So YouTube started out when me and my friend said, okay, let's try out something on Instagram, and then it turned to be a beautiful series called Inspirational Interviews, and you have also come in there. It's
Yes, yes.
amazing. Yeah, so we had so many different interviews, and I love and I fell in love in doing those interviews. Apart from other videos that I post, I've had ex NASA engineers coming there, world champion of public speaking coming there, and when you meet such people and you get those lessons over there, that becomes beautiful. So I say to my show also, I'm doing it because I'm selfish. I learned so many things from those guests. So even if nobody else is watching, at least I learn so much because of those interviews that no, it really adds value. And
Yes.
same is the case with the podcast. So podcast started as an experiment in again 2021 because I wanted to try out. Podcast is something which is not yet very popular in India. It's
Yes.
very popular back in European countries, US, etc. But it's still gaining a little bit of popularity in India, not that much. So it was more of an experiment, and how I can try to reuse some of the content and also create new genre of things. So that's how it started. It's not easy to say. You have to manage between work and podcast and YouTube. You have to set your priorities. Uh, I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix and all sometimes, but I'm not a big fan of watching TV. And I believe instead of spending 2 3 4 hours that people spend on all those things, if we can use that for these creative endeavors, that takes you again forward. But yeah, it's a juggle. It's a constant juggle. You have to keep switching between the different roles. uh, but you have to do, and I love doing that, so I do that.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. It's really all about attention management and priority management, guys. This is truly said by Haritosh, and even I have learned this when I went interviewed you. And I too believe like time management. This term has I is wrongly invented, or I don't believe in time management. Even I have given in my book Life at the Rate Crossroads also. It's not TIME. The full abbreviation should be the inefficient me management. I am unable to manage myself. I cannot manage time because the sun will rise at the same time, the sun will set at
Exactly.
the same time, time will remain the same. You have to manage yourself. That is important. Maybe your
Yep.
priorities, maybe your attention, your focus. Beautiful, Haritosh. This is a great lesson that viewers you can pick up, that it is not time management. And in the lieu of this, in the run of managing time, we actually unable to manage ourselves. Better go for your
Absolutely.
other managements. Thank you, Haritosh, for this beautiful answer also. Now, my next question will be, what's your happiest moment? Can you share your one of the most happiest moments?
Wow. Happiest moment. There are so many happy moments. I mean, I've never thought about what was my higher happiest moment. I think one of the moment that I remember that probably I can say correlate very close to happiest moment was when I got my first job, and after a year or so, since I we were from a small town, and I was in my this was my first time going out to Bangalore and all. And I remember I booked a flight for my parents to come from Delhi to Bangalore. So they took a train from my hometown to Delhi, and then they stayed there at my relative's place. And from there, they first time took the flight from Delhi to Bangalore. And that in itself, to do something for your parents that they are they are proud of, they are grateful of, that probably was one of the happiest moment, if not the happiest, where you are able to do something for your parents who have done so much for you. And coming from that background was one of the most touching moments, if I say.
Yes, this is so beautiful, Haritosh. So, with that, one more question came into my mind. Means, other than this, whatever you have right now shared with us, can you share one of those kindest moment? Means that you have done something for someone, and I know you must have done something for someone. He must be feeling happy, but you were feeling more happy, more joyful. Do you have such moment to share other than this? Because I know this is one of the best moments of your life.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That's again part of my chapter also.
Okay.
Which where I say that to be mindful of who you advise to. And I think you have heard the story, but for the
Yes.
viewers, I'll repeat it again. So it was back in 2002. I had two very good friends, and both of them I was trying to prepare for engineering test, and both of them reached out to me to get a career advice. And no, they wanted something very small. They didn't have too much of money, and they wanted to do something out of the career. I advised both of them to do something. One of them didn't do too much, and that's not part of this discussion, and he came back and started cribbing. But the other person was my very close friend, and he went through the course, and then he kept grinding and going on and all. And after spending about 18 years in industry, he opened his own venture. And I was over the moon more than him when he started his own venture. And then when I talked to him, he was like, it's all because of that advice that you gave me back 18 years back. Now you do this small course and keep doing consistently. I didn't get any money, and no, he didn't get any money out of it or anything. It's only that sheer thank you for that advice that no made me go over the moon. I was like, I'm so happy, and every time he does something, I'm like, oh, somehow, somewhere, I contributed to his learning, his growth, and his journey, and that's gratifying. That's totally gratifying.
Beautiful. This is beautiful also. Haritosh, one more question I really want to ask you, because sometimes I too feel like doing this. And do you feel like reading your book again and again, what you have written? Have you ever read after publishing?
I've not read end to end. I would say, except for the editing part, I've not read end to end.
After editing, huh? After
Yeah, after
publishing,
editing, yeah,
maybe sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
still
look
going
back.
through for printing version. I still going through the editing phase, so I had to read. But
Okay.
it's like our kids, right? We tend to become overprotective of our kids, and like will not find all the good things. Will be point out, okay, I could have done this better, or maybe this example would have been much better here. Here. So we tend to become overcritical of ourselves. But yeah, I love to hear people's feedback, and when they say, nah, oh, I love that chapter, or I love that point that you made. No, that I think for me is more interesting than going through the book all over again. But
Mm.
yeah, I do go back sometimes to refer and see, what did I read, and should I need to revise or think about some other book or something like that. But yeah,
Mm.
going through the whole book again, it's gonna be again a big thing.
It's like you're taking lessons from yourself once again. What you have actually learned and how you are going back taking. I have written this. It's like maybe what I feel nowadays. Like maybe I have grown in with whatever I have written 2 or 3 years back. Now I have gained experience. I must maybe have better than what I wrote last time. So I feel like I
Yeah,
could. How could I make this point? Maybe these kind of, you feel, as you said, the way we feel more overcritical about ourselves. This happens with me, and that is why I asked you this question, do you also do read or do something like that? So this
yeah.
is
I mean,
beautiful,
this is
Haritosh.
one very interesting research I read somewhere that we are changing every day, evolving every day,
Yes.
and within 5 years, our whole body changes. So whatever even the body cells that we have will be completely a different person. So even if we feel like, no, is this me or have I done this? This is completely natural because we are evolving. We are
Yes.
growing old. We are getting new experiences, new perspectives. So I think this is what the nature is all about. No, it starts with the seed, and then it becomes a small sepal to tree to big branches, and one day it dies. So that's how we all are.
Haritosh, one more question. I think you will say that she will now keep on banging me, but
No, no, no problem. Go ahead.
I know that you have fulfilled most of your dreams, but still, do you have dreams for your further future, or what you see yourself as kind of person, or whatever after 5 years, where you look yourself?
No, I don't think I have fulfilled all of the dreams. I mean, if somebody say that he might be saying, I don't think I've fulfilled all the dreams. There's so many, so many bigger, better things to do. I think where I see myself in 5 years, honestly speaking, I do not have that vision of that cliche questions answer, the HR answer that people get in the interview. Where do you see 5 years? But what I see nowadays is that I'm getting inclined towards mentoring people and coaching people, and I see that I'm getting lot of interest and lot of good feedback as well. But I get so much of satisfaction also doing so. I'm trying to help more people in their whether it's a career endeavor, whether it's studies endeavor and things like that. So I think I'm going towards that route. Will I completely switch over from my full-time job to that? I do not know. But no, even if I don't get paid for that at this point of time, I'm enjoying the process. Even within teachers, we have a lot of mentoring program that I'm part of, coaching program that I'm getting part of, and that is giving me a lot of spark inside. So that is, that is, I think, something I would like to explore in coming years, and let's see how it goes.
Yes, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, when you are talking about mentoring and coaching people and giving them lessons and or to understand something about you, so what's your advice today to the viewers? Means what lesson you want to really, what beautiful advices that you want to give to the viewers right now?
Sure. I think one of the advice that I would like to give is keep dreaming. I mean, unless you dream, you can't achieve. So even if the whole world is saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to look at what you can do and what you can imagine. There's a famous quote that I love, that no, we sometimes overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and what we can do in 1 week, and underestimate what we can do in 10 years. uh,
Hmm.
we all know that no, our gold medalist in Olympics, that guy was actually a 19 kg obese. I was reading somewhere earlier today, and in 10 years he became a Olympics gold champion. uh, that's the power of dreams, that's the power of imagination. So keep imagining. Albert Einstein also said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge, because imagination takes you to the places where knowledge would have never thought
And
about, or no, knowledge can you never take you to. So keep imagining bigger, better, brighter things, for yourself, for your community, for your society, for organization, or for your college, wherever you are. And that's how, you never know. Second thing I would say is, there will be times in your life when you'll get an opportunity where you will not be sure that no, whether I am worth it, whether I'll be able to do it or not. And there is a principle called figure it outing, which says that no, if you get an opportunity, like for example, you are being asked to present to audience, or you are being asked to write a column to something or something like that, and you're not sure whether you'll be able to do it or not, say yes first, and then figure out how you're going to do that. And you can always reach out to mentors, you can reach out to experts. But if you say no to at this that opportunity will go away, and you might or might not get that again. So if you get any opportunity, say yes and then figure it out. And I think that has helped me many a times. I've said yes to speaking opportunity, or no, a meeting opportunity, or any other opportunities, and that turned out beautiful experiences and beautiful learnings. So that's probably my second advice for any of the viewers today.
beautiful, beautiful. People keep dreaming, keep imagining, because yeah, knowledge is important, but it will not take you where you really want to go, what your imagination can take you, because you can imagine anything, any particular piece, any particular speck of the universe, and it will be yours. It can be yours, and you have all the potential to get it. So keep dreaming and keep imagining. Beautiful, Haritosh. Thank you so much to be a part of Ahmedabad Book Club. And thank you, Ahmedabad Book Club, for calling all of us on this stage. It's our privilege to come here to talk to the people, and I hope you all must have got a lot of lessons from Haritosh, and read his book Small Town Bigger Dreams, which is going to give you more lessons than what he is talking about here on this platform. Go and read, go ahead. Thank you so much, all of you. We are signing off right
Thank you
now.
so much, Ahmedabad Book Club. And no, thank you so much, Sweta. Amazing question as always. And people who have not yet read Sweta's book, please go and read She Met Life and Life at Crossroads. Those are amazing, amazing books. Please go and follow her. You'll learn so much from her, just by following her on social media.
Thank you.
Thank you, team ABC.